zoom out and look at what you've actually been able to achieve so far.
Small win is getting up and reading 5 pages of a book that you bought. That you said that I'm going to buy this book because it's going to give me knowledge on X, Y, Z.
Let's win today. Let's register that company. Let's read that 2 to 5 pages.
Let's go to the gym.
Let's go to the gym.
It gives you a good feeling within yourself that, like you said, I am on the right track. I am doing the right thing. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. And you start to compound. And we all know what can happen when you compound. You know, there is a pot of gold waiting for you at the end.
Have the mindset of just to win. So you can look back at your last 24 hours and say, cool, how have I won today? And you should have at least one win.
When you picture the life that you want, you probably imagine that one big turning point where everything changes.
But here's the truth. Most meaningful lives aren't built in one small moment. They're an amalgamation of stacked up small wins day by day. And if you're expecting that big break, you've already lost. Welcome back to the best flipping show on YouTube, the Unplug podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 40, Big 4-0. And guys, if you're joining us for the first time, we are the Unplug podcast. As I said 150 times, we are here to unplug from the matrix so you can live life on your own terms.
We are for the entrepreneurs. We are for the dreamers.
Tell them again.
We are for the believers.
What?
We are for those who are ready for life change. So if you are at a place in your life where you're frustrated, you've had enough, you're annoyed, you feel like you're at a dead end, this is the channel for you.
Let's go. So make sure you're liking, you're subscribing, and you're sharing.
Guys, also want to throw in there, road to 500 subs.
500?
We're getting sexy with it now.
Very sexy.
We're getting sexy. I see you come with the fresh trim and that, bro.
yeah,
just you know, feeling yourself and that. So guys, like my boy said, you know, if you want some inspiration, want some motivation, click that subscribe button, join the family. We are the Unplug family. So today's episode, I wanted to bring something to the round table. Is about small wins, big life. Like, I think in life, a lot of people feel you have this massive, big, monumental moment where success just appears from nowhere. But, you know, we're experienced enough or wise enough to know that success never comes like that. It's always, you know, brick by brick, day every day, you know, achieving those small wins over and over again. And that's where the success comes.
100%. And I feel like a lot of people, when you picture the perfect life you want, you expect it to appear from one massive turning point. And that just simply isn't the case. There isn't a specific moment in time when it changes. It's a build-up.
So today we are talking about the trap of waiting for that big moment. You know, we grind, we work, and we almost feel like there is a moment where this big thing happens and it brings success, you know, whatever success means to you. But like we know, bro, big moments are rare.
100%.
They very rarely come about.
Yeah.
And, you know, they are, a big moment for me is built on various different steps, laying brick by brick to get to that big moment.
And even the way society is right now, we're very much conditioned for that big moment. Like, you feel you finish school, you graduate, and all of a sudden that big job just like lands on your desk or on your feet, or on your lap. Or maybe like you're looking for your dream partner and you're thinking you're just going to be, you know, on a bridge just walking down and your dream person is just going to come through. Like, life isn't like that. Like, there's not a massive big turning point. Like, there needs to be an amalgamation of small steps. You didn't just get here. You didn't just wake up and you became 50 years old. You know, you lived day by day, 356 days, 365 Jesus
days,
Christ.
52 weeks of the year.
You're
running on your own time frame, bro.
Listen, you know what I mean? You know, what's it called? 4-hour work week. But you know what I mean? Like, you lived yourself like every single day and you experienced that day by day. So I feel like naturally we've been conditioned, right, for that big, you know, hoo-ha of a moment, that big turning point. But in reality, it's just like small steps.
Yeah. No, and I want to say, I feel like we all, yeah, it's hard making those, you know, tough choices every single day, but it's the tough choices that lead, like I said, to these big moments. And I feel people avoid the kind of tough moments and sit and wait for this big thing to happen. But we have to get to a place where we understand that, you know, making the tough choices every day, doing the things that we don't want to do every day, and just, you know, keep moving forward. That's how we will get whatever it is that we're trying to achieve at the end of the road.
110%. now let's talk about why the small wins matter. And we spoke about it a few episodes back, and you asked me the question about why does my generation want everything now, right? So again, speaking from my perspective, or I may speak for a lot of people in that kind of like Gen Z perspective, is like a small win, like, a little, I got my first sale of £10, but this guy's making £1,000 a day. Like, that's not enough. I don't want just my first sale. I want 100 sales, right? But why can we explain to the people, because obviously we know, why do these small wins actually matter though?
Yeah, I think for me the small wins matter because they build confidence. They help with what a lot of people suffer from, which is imposter syndrome. So you might be doubting yourself and you get a small win, you think, actually, okay, maybe I'm on the right track. I feel the small wins help you build up momentum. It's like you're creating a path. It's like you're on a journey and you get a small, you're like, okay, cool, I can keep it. It just allows you, momentum. It just allows you to keep going. Like I said, it builds the confidence and you feel like you're on the right track. Like we always say, success leaves clues.
100%.
So if you are, achieving some small wins, there's more wins along the journey. There's more wins along the way. And
No, I completely agree with you. I think for me, personally, small wins is proof of concept that this stuff works. Do you get what I mean? Like, if it is your first, or okay, cool, someone actually bought your product, someone actually bought your service. That means the value, the service, the problem you're solving is a real problem. And as we mentioned in a few episodes ago, if you find the answer to problems, you'll be handsomely rewarded, right? So for me, it's all about the proof of concepts, and now just doubling and tripling down through marketing, through your service, some different like forms of iteration. That's a whole nother episode. But for now, it's just literally getting into the room, getting your foot through the door, getting that first sale, reaching out, doing leaflets, like putting your, even I don't know if people still do like the Friday ad, but like advertising your business,
section.
you know what I mean? Advertising your business, whatever it may be, and just that small win, that first yes, that first maybe, you know what I mean? I feel like that is all proof of concept that this works. If you've spoken to 1,000 people and one person says yes, that's more than enough fuel for me that I need to say, okay, cool, yeah, this works.
Yeah, and it just builds consistency, because the opposite of not getting them small wins is no wins.
Literally.
If you're not winning, in my opinion, you're losing. Do you know what I mean? So it's better to be taking them small wins, every day, as opposed to nothing is happening. At least when something's happening, it gives you a good feeling within yourself that, like you said, I am on the right track, I am doing the right thing, let me keep going, let me keep going, and you start to compound. And we all know what can happen when you compound. There is a pot of gold waiting for you at the end, but it's never going to come falling down at you all at once.
100%. And just maybe like some examples then for the people. Like, what are some examples of some small wins? Because I also believe it's also a habit as well. Right? It's also a habit. So whether like it's, gym, it's workout, it's food. So maybe like, what are some examples of small wins? Because I think people are like, what's too small of a win?
Yeah. Bro, I think for me, a small win is getting up and reading 5 pages of a book that you bought, that you said that I'm going to buy this book because it's going to give me knowledge on X, Y, Z. Now, 5 pages might not sound a lot, but over a week,
Compound.
5 pages, 7 days, what's that? 35. That's 35. You finished the book maybe in a month.
Literally.
Whereas if you're, again, and I'm a victim of this, you read your 5 and then you don't, you kind of just, you lose your momentum, and that can spill into other areas of your life as well. Another example I want to give is like going to the gym. Everyone wants to have that fit, sexy body, look trim, but that's not going to happen overnight. Again, it is arms are looking kind of toned now. Chest is starting to poke out a little bit. That little fat around my belly is slowly, but you're not going to get a 6-pack overnight, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it is that getting in the gym when you don't feel like it, exercising, stretching. It's the little things that end up just being the big things.
Yeah, 110%. And I totally agree with you. I feel like it's an amalgamation of all of that, and it's just simply starting. But I think like taking this a bit more personally now, in terms of like our sort of, small wins in our lives, what would you say is sort of like a consistent amount of small wins that led to the ultimate big moment?
I'll use my business as an example because it's the most sort of relevant and up to date. I think taking on my first sort of property a few years back, that was a small win. But looking back now, it was probably the biggest win because, like you said earlier, it was the proof of concept. It was like, right, actually, I can do this. Any doubts I had about myself, me getting my first unit, turning that unit into a business that made money, it was a small win. But I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't get that small win. So it's almost like just appreciating, the small wins, because without property 1, there wouldn't have been property
2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me that was the small win. It didn't feel big at the time, but now I'm where now I see the importance of it. What about yourself?
I feel like for me also, it was also probably some of my first acquisition. Obviously, my first acquisition, and we mentioned this, I think, on a few other episodes back, took a lot longer than I think yours. It took me a year to get my first property. And I even paid, we have people called deal sourcer who broker opportunities and find you properties. And we ended up even paying someone. And I did over 1,000 phone calls, over 300 viewings, and rejection to a whole new level. And just rejection to a whole new level. And it was very underwhelming, even though when I got my first property, I'm not going to lie, it was very, very underwhelming. I was like, all these calls just for this, and I'm making a couple £100. But then now looking back, I have a wealth of experience of what not to say when speaking to landlords or to estate agents. Any reasonably headed landlord that I can have a 2-minute conversation with, there's no reason why they shouldn't give me the property now. I'm that well versed in property acquisition now, to the point where I can now teach people how to do it.
Yeah.
So looking back, or looking at it now, that's probably one of a biggest turning point, because a lot of people say, I find it very hard to get properties, I find it difficult. And I say it's simple. I say it's easy, but at the time, again, not knowing that I had to make so many different iterations, I had to change my pitch, I had to change the way I spoke, I had to change the buzzwords, the red flag words, the green flag words, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to the point now where I find it it's a comfortable conversation to have.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big moment for me, but that was literally off the back of thousands of phone calls. Thousands of phone calls. Serious work. I'll probably say that was the biggest thing for me. That's massively changed my business.
Yeah, and I just want to add, just listening to what you're saying, I think what is really important and a good thing for people to understand is that when you get that small win, don't look at the win as the big thing. Look at what you've learned to achieve that big win. Look at the person you've had to become. Look at what you've had to overcome. I think I mentioned it on an episode a while ago when Jim Rohn was set the goal of becoming a millionaire, not to achieve the million, but what it will make of you to become that millionaire. So, perspective is everything. That's one of my new sayings now. I always try and put things into perspective. So just because the win might not seem monumental, don't underestimate how powerful it is, or what you've had to do to overcome it, what you've had to learn, and just, you've moved forward. Don't underestimate of just moving forward.
100%.
There is, that's how you start.
No, literally.
Baby steps count too, bro.
Always.
Do you know what I mean? So,
but guys, goodness. But guys, one of you guys was getting us into the comments telling us that we're not giving clear enough steps.
No, I want to pull him out. Hang on, what's this guy's name again? We need to find him, bro. We need to find him. We need to find him. Bro, it's all good. K3, if you're watching this one's for you. So guys, for those of you maybe watching this for the first time, or for our Unplug family who've been with us on this journey, we had a gentleman who commented on one of our posts. I can't remember what episode it was. And he was basically saying, actually, that's what it was. We were talking about the system, and why staying trapped in the system keeps you trapped, essentially. And K3 commented, thank you for commenting. Thank you for the engagement. Really appreciate it. He said, you keep telling us the system has taught us the wrong way without actually giving us a method to know making money. The video ain't helping us. So, cool. Love the feedback, guys. Please keep sending your feedback. This guy wants to know how to make money. He wants to know how to get out of the system.
Okay.
Drop Freeman a DM in it. No, I'm joking. So what we're going to do off the back of those comments, which we try and do,
Yeah.
but maybe we need to dig a little bit deeper
Yeah.
for those who maybe are not fully understanding. Give some real in-depth practical steps on how to implement what we're actually saying that you can take away, give you some homework that you can go and implement and see how it improves and changes your life.
100%. So what me and JP might even do, we'll specifically reply to UK Free on that video, some practical steps you can make money, but come back to this episode, some practical steps of how people can start establishing some small wins and some compounding effects. What would you say is like the first one?
I always say this, man, and I probably sound like a broken tape recorder, but for me, it's that mindset shift. Like, you are where you are right now because of how you think, how you behave, who you're around, things that you watch, things that you listen. So I almost feel like understanding that there's no such thing as like a big win. Whatever you do is all about kind of repeating, repetition every day, 1% better every day, every day. So don't look for that big win. That, for me, the practical step is the mindset shift. We're not looking for this major, we're going to make 7 figures overnight. We're going to make 4 figures. We're going to make 5 figures. We're going to make 6, then we're going to make 7. So understanding that there are levels to this. There are stages. There's no big wins, bro. Unless you go and put on a lottery and get a winning ticket and you get that big win overnight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So number one, I'm going to throw in another one. And like I said before, don't look to gain excitement or happiness from that big win. Just understand that
It's part of the journey.
it's part of the journey. And whatever wins that you do have, it's building you up. It's building your character. It's building your discipline. It's taught you how to overcome obstacles and challenges which are inevitable on this journey. And yeah.
No, I'm completely with you. I think
K3, was that enough for you, my boy? Hopefully it was.
Hopefully enough. But I think even just adding to that as well, I think the next practical steps, once you change your mindset, is to now make it into a habit, right? Because there's no point changing your mentality or you understanding, all right, cool, you know, I need to kind of culminate a lot of these wins, but the consistency behind that. So now adding the discipline to that in terms of, all right, cool, this is what you need to do, this is how it should be done, and just being disciplined throughout that. So I think now making this into a habit is massively important, because we can track this, we can see what we've come from and what we can learn and also like improve as well.
No, I like that. And yeah, like we just said, it's about just stacking those wins, man. Stacking them. It's all right to keep stacking them until, you know, it's like one on top of the other.
Literally.
And then you break through the ceiling.
Yeah. And I think a final one for me is just also like a review as well. One of my friends, I was giving myself some, as we all do, I'm sure, like some harsh criticism in terms of like me not being where I'd like to be right now. And he said, just zoom out and look at what you've actually been able to achieve so far. And I literally went on my notes and I said, all right, cool, what have I actually done so far? And when you actually zoom out from that perspective, like you was talking about right now, it's not flipping, I've actually done quite a bit. You know, and again, because, you know, standardly you're so caught up in work, in your business, or starting that new bit, whatever it may be, like you get so caught up that you actually don't zoom out. It's like, oh, flipping out, like I've actually created a business, I've registered my company, I've got a business bank account, I made my first £1,000. We served our 10th customer. Like flipping out, we've actually done a crazy amount in 3 months. So I think like also like just reviewing, like just every month, every quarter, just zoom out, review, write down. I'm like a big, like, don't always get something like, I'm not digital, like even my age. I write down everything. Pen and paper, write down, or if you want to be digital, write on your phone and just zoom out and see what have you actually been able to do in the last kind of like 30 days on the last quarter, like working towards your thing. And you're going to find so many small wins, so many small wins that you didn't even plan or perhaps you'd even consider as a small win. But I think that's it for me. Yeah,
and I just want to add, I was listening to something the other day and it was talking about success, and it was saying that success is a worthy ideal of who you want to be or what you want to achieve. And as long as you're on that journey and you're pursuing that worthy ideal, you are successful. It's the minute that you stop or you're not working towards something that you're not a success. So as long as, what I'm trying to say, guys, as long as you've decided who you want to be or what you want to achieve and you're actively working towards it, you're naturally going to pick up wins every day as well.
100%.
So you are successful providing you are getting up every day and working towards your dreams and your goals.
There we go. There we go. But guys, I really hope you appreciate the episode. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, This is the part of the show which we call Plug Bites, where John and I read something that's touched us, that's moved us, that we feel that will also inspire you guys to take some action in line with today's ep.
Cool. So my one's short and sweet this week, and it reads, big lives are built one small win at a time. And yeah, it just leads on from what we was talking about earlier, that there is no such thing as a big win. The big win is an amalgamation or accumulation rather of various different wins over a week, over a month, over a year. Wherever you are right now, it's those small wins that got you there. It wasn't that one big leap. And understand that. And once you can understand that, you'll embrace the small wins, bro.
100%.
You'll be like, yeah, I was here last week and now I'm there. You know, I'm still not where I want to be, but I've moved forward. And
100%.
as long as you keep moving forward, it is a win
100%.
every single day, man.
No, I love that. Mine is short and sweet. It says, stop waiting for someday, win today. And I feel like that is, again, in line with obviously the small wins, but also what we consider a win as well. Whether it be big or whether it be small. Like, let's win today. Let's register that company. Right? Let's read that 2 to 5 pages.
Let's go to the gym.
Let's go to the gym. Let's meal prep. Let's just have the mindset, like I said, one of the first practical steps, have the mindset of just to win. So you can look back at your last 24 hours and say, cool, how have I won today? And you should have at least one win. Right? So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Love that. Cool. Guys, thank you. I just want to say again, episode 40, this is a landmark episode for us. We're going to keep going because we enjoy what we do. We hope you guys enjoy what we do. I want to say a big thank you for those who have subscribed. Those of you who have followed us, you know, on our journey. You're seeing our progress. You're seeing our growth. We appreciate you. We love you. Tell a friend. Tell
your mum, tell your dad, tell his mistress.
Jeez.
Please, she's got bare friends. At least she's got bare, at least 50. You know what I mean? And as always, guys, love.
Elevate.